allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Jason Franks, no. Steve Jordan,
Yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes,
Dean Reister,
Here.
and Brian Smith.
Motion to excuse Jason, I assume he's not
I'll
coming.
make a motion to excuse Jason. I'll second it.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Jason, whoops. Just mark him through.
Yes, I'll say yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
yes.
Dean Reister,
Yes.
and Brian Smith. I need to do a roll call on that, no?
To approve an absence, yeah.
Meeting minutes,
I'll make a motion to approve.
I second that.
is that Brian?
Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Sorry.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Brian Smith,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
and Dean Reister.
Yes.
Minutes, any questions on financials? Sorry.
I do have a question. Security fence group, what is that?
They maintain our traffic light in town, and they come every year to do an annual inspection, like a
They're
conflict.
not doing a very good job.
That's right, right, we had no
Oh,
issues
no.
until they left.
Yeah,
When they
sweet.
left, it started.
Okay.
Any other questions? Austin, can you sign in over here real quick? Any other questions on financials?
I'll make a motion.
No.
I'll second that.
That was Steve,
Yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Dean Meister,
Yes.
Brian Smith.
Yes.
And Gabe's running late tonight, so Brian's going to speak for him.
It's my understanding, Kenny, you correct me if I'm wrong, what Gabe seeks is a motion to permit a public hearing for the purpose of review and altering the zoning manual. It would be for October 27th at 5:30 PM in this facility.
So I'm making a lot of assumptions, I was just copied on an email. It looks like the Planning and Zoning Commission has made a motion to make amendments to the zoning ordinance.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so that is one way to initiate the process to amend the zoning ordinance. And so once, if it comes from the Planning and Zoning Commission, they need to then transmit it to council, which I understand that's being done tonight. This is the transmission of the proposed zoning amendments.
It's 77 pages, so we'll email it to you, anybody who wants it.
But maybe if you want to pass it around, it's
But then-
highlighted in like red line where you can see.
Yeah, as long as it's highlighted.
It's on page 10 is the first one of that. But anyways, this is the process to transmit this, and it's being transmitted tonight. And so then once it is transmitted to council, the next step is for council to set it for public hearing. So I'm just kind of building up to what Brian just said. So that is the request for the public hearing to be set. And just so we all remember,
that. If you want that one, either one's fine, Bryce.
When-
I can email it or you can have that.
I prefer an email,
Okay.
but
I could,
it is bothering me.
Yeah, I got it.
Papers aren't
Well,
drawn very well.
I tried, but I couldn't get them to come together. But I will send you the email in just a minute, so you'll have it in your email box.
Okay.
Brian, the public
So-
hearing is October the
And that was
27th.
just so
October
everyone
27th.
knows,
Yeah.
that hearing has to be published at least once in a newspaper or general circulation. Notice has to be published at least 30 days before the date of the required hearing, so I
Yes.
assume that's.
It's been transmitted to our friends at
Okay.
the newspaper, and they're gonna get it in this week.
And then just so everyone remembers, the next step is then after the public hearing, for any comment to be made on this, that it comes back to council, and then within 30 days of that public hearing date is when council needs to act on that.
And
What
that
was the
on
date again?
October 27th at 5:30 PM,
Here?
Village Hall.
I think 10 is page 10 is where the changes start, yeah.
You need
It's
a
about
motion.
10 or so
I do,
pages.
sir.
I'll make that motion.
So Mel, what's the motion?
The motion is to set the public hearing on the proposed proposed amendments to the zoning ordinance requested by the Planning and Zoning Commission.
And Dean made the motion. Did I get a second?
Oh, go ahead.
And that's specific date and time. I didn't say.
Yeah,
yours,
I'll
but-
let you fill in what I missed. You're good at that. You change it anyway, from what I write. So Kenny, were you the second?
Yeah, I hope so, because I mean,
It's what's
because I'm trying to-
Dean Reister?
It's
Yes.
just like throughout.
It is fine that Kenny makes the second, right?
Yes.
Okay. Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Jason,
see.
Steve Jordan,
Yeah.
and Brian Smith.
Yes.
Okay. George, police report?
Does anybody have any questions in reference to the report? Any questions, curious about that?
Any luck on hiring? Any bites, nothing? Not at all?
We are nothing.
We just don't pay him.
Yeah, well, that's,
That's what it is.
I guess it's some trade-offs relative to that, but, I mean, that's unfortunate, I guess. Are we still advertising it?
I, 2 weeks ago, I sent out an email that went statewide for like all, got nothing so far.
Perfect, okay.
There's, other, like, sheriff, bigger looking at pay more than us, though, at the same
I
time,
know
we're
the polling
trying to,
police
so.
department's had an opening for,
Let me think.
not as long as ours, but they
Yeah.
haven't gotten that one either.
Mm.
It's just a shortage.
I can tell you at CCNO, we paid, we just approved just over $22 an hour to start.
Well, when,
And all
when your
benefits.
national media makes it an occupation that, you know,
Yeah.
who wants to do it?
Yeah.
Well,
Didn't
that's-
do you any favors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, any other questions for George?
Thanks, George.
Is the light causing you any problems?
No, I actually like it the way it is when it blinks, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's a lot safer. If you just watch the traffic flow when it's a functioning light versus the blinking light, I mean, it's 90-day.
People aren't trying to run it then?
No, I mean, not like they do when, you know, I say 60% of the clientele when they see it's yellow, what do they do? Step on it.
Go faster.
Yeah.
Or when it's blinking, at least everybody's braking a block away, but they know they gotta stop.
I like it blinking.
I do too.
Well, it may be blinking for a while,
Yeah, that'd be nice.
until we get it fixed, so.
I know there's problems with it, that's what's, yeah, but
Yeah.
I just take the time, I think.
Have you gotten any major complaints? I haven't.
No,
There's been a few,
Has
but
there?
not that it, I mean, it's just an inconvenience, cause they gotta stop.
Because they gotta stop, yeah.
I think part of it too is the change, like because it went and then it wasn't and then it was. I was going the other day and somebody was like ran the red light because I think they thought it was still
Right.
like after I went through, then they ran. I was like,
Oh,
but I think it's because it changes
Yeah.
up. Like I think once it's
Changing.
consistent, if we either way, it'll probably be
yeah.
we're just always in transition.
always progress. Right.
If we decided to change it, to leave it a blinking
Well, we
light, is that
can't.
something?
I spoke with the administrator, and
Yeah.
I'll let you talk, Brian.
Yeah, I mean.
Never mind then.
ODOT has informed us, we are obligated to have 2 lights, and they have to be 3-position lights, they cannot be flashing lights. So I reached out to them and they
So
cited
if
the
we wanted-
revised code and everything. But until we fix it, we'll have a blinking.
Gotcha.
What do you mean 2 lights?
You have to have redundancy on your traffic lights, so you have to have 2, like we have. Because I wanted to take 1 down and go to flashing, and I was told I had to keep 2, and couldn't be flashing.
Because it's a state highway that comes through town.
Okay.
Thanks, George.
Thanks, George. Thanks, Steve.
First resolution is Resolution 2022-08. This is a resolution accepting the amounts and rates as determined by the Budget Commission and authorizing the necessary tax levies and certifying them to the county auditor.
So this should technically, by law, be back to the county auditor by October 1st. That is how the statute reads on this. I know that Amy has talked to the auditor's office, and they didn't make it sound like they would turn us away if we didn't have it there by October first, but it technically by law is October first. So if everyone is inclined and willing to pass it as an emergency, I would recommend that, since that technically is supposed to be back. But if no one wants to do that, we could do 3 readings and get it back to them then just as soon as we could get through 3 readings.
Well, we would have to do special
So-
meetings, they couldn't do 3 months. But
Right.
they could do,
We could get it back to them next month, it sounded like. It didn't sound like if we didn't have it till by October first, but we should have it there as soon as we can. So if we wanna do it as an emergency reading, the only thing is, we need to put something in the minutes that reflects, why it's an emergency. And again, it's because the law technically says that it's supposed to be back to the auditor by October first is the emergency. We would have to still do a motion to suspend the rules and document that in the minutes and then have the vote to approve. So it's up to council how they wanna proceed.
I make a motion, we suspend the rules of 3 readings.
Yeah, and I will second that.
And these are just renewals?
yes.
Okay.
It's just certifying that they are what they,
And the amounts and rates are correct.
that was Dean with the motion, Kenny with the second. Dean
Yes.
Reister,
Yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
and Brian Smith.
And I would just require, the house that we put in the, minutes, the reason for the emergency was so we could get this returned before the October first deadline.
And just to clarify, there's nothing going on the ballot, it's just what your current rates are. Okay.
Just certifying.
We do it
that.
every year, and we do it as an emergency every year, so does everyone else in the county.
Okay.
I just want it made noted why we had to read it as an emergency.
And I just want to make sure that
Yeah.
there
We
wasn't
did it in
anything going on the
September
ballot.
from them, and we literally have
Okay.
3 or 4 weeks to turn it around.
Okay.
I make a motion, we pass.
I'll second.
Let's see.
Dean Reister,
Yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
and Brian Smith.
Yes.
That's taken care of.
Do you have what you need now?
Yep.
This one, or I can copy it tomorrow.
You read and I'll
Okay.
copy.
The next one is resolution number 2022-09. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor of the village of Antwerp, Ohio, to enter into a donation agreement with the Antwerp Community Development Committee Incorporated for the installation of a splash pad at Riverside Veterans Memorial Park and declaring the same an emergency.
So since it's an emergency and it has to have 5 people to pass and I've had to abstain from this, how's that gonna work?
I don't know why you have to abstain.
Since it's splash pad and I'm on the committee, because that was the big,
Does he have to?
You don't,
Well,
you
to
don't
suspend
gain.
the rules, you have to have, 5. And we would, because Jason's not here.
But
But
you're
does
not personally
Brian-
gaining from this decision.
I'm absolutely fine with it. I realize what it is, obviously, but I
This
don't.
is just authorizing the mayor to enter into the donation agreement.
Didn't we already vote on this 2 months ago?
That was
We
to move
discussed
them
it.
to go forward. That was to approve the actual project itself so they could start the requests for the grants and the funding. This is to approve the formal donation agreement, which hopefully you all received. It should have been attached to the, yeah, it's right behind it. This is to approve the formal donation agreement, what will happen when the project is complete. And we can, do it by 3 readings. I'm not quite sure where they are in the stage of it. So somebody would have to update me on
Did you say if
that.
it's not in a hurry, then it wouldn't
They-
matter?
This is,
This is one of the elements they have to conclude their process with the state grant, that they have to provide the state with.
Is there,
So-
is there a hurry on
Well, yeah, there's a hurry, because the sooner they get it done, the quicker you can access the funds.
They can't start until this is.
This is one of the elements they have to have.
Can I make a motion?
it?
Can I make a different motion?
okay, we've had a motion, have we?
No, we don't have.
No.
one.
We haven't had a motion yet.
No.
My motion would be that we allow Brian to not have to abstain from this because he does not gain personally from this splash pad project.
Can we do that?
Well, I don't know if you really need a motion. It either does or he doesn't. It's nothing that you really have to have a motion
I mean, if
on.
it's not gonna be a problem, I'll do it. I just know that in the past there was brought up, so then that's why I'm asking, because
I think
don't
that was
wanna-
more of the actual project itself, in my opinion. That's when we were talking about whether we were even gonna approve the project going forward. That has already been approved. That was approved, I think Bryce brought it up 2 months ago,
So,
2 meetings ago.
Brian,
This is just the formal donation agreement for the mayor, authorizing the mayor to sign it, so they have that paperwork to present to
And
the
Brian
state.
can
So
vote.
I don't personally, professionally see it as a conflict for you to vote on
Okay,
this.
that's what I'm doing.
So do I need to make a motion?
So I don't think we need a motion on that.
So
Okay.
don't put that in the minutes for
Well,
Dean?
we can put it in the minutes, just we're not gonna put in the minutes that Dean's making a motion, because it's not, I don't think it's necessary.
Okay.
I think it's, if you guys wanna discuss it, I think this is the time to discuss this and discuss the donation agreement. Has everyone reviewed it and have questions about it, any comments on it? This is kind of what this time is for.
Was it in the minutes previous? that-
I was asking if I needed to put Dean's motion in the minutes since we're not going further with it.
Dean, will you withdraw your motion?
I'll withdraw my
Thank
motion.
you. That's what we'll put in the minutes.
I'll second you as well.
So I do put it in and then put that he would
Yes, you withdrew it.
Well, I just know we need to just move forward with this,
Right.
so I'm willing to do whatever
I
it
think
takes to get
this-
it moving.
Yeah, and I think this is the time that we're, look at that proposed donation agreement, comments, discussion on that. And then the next step would be, if you all are ready to move forward, a motion to suspend the rules, and then a motion to approve the ordinance that authorizes the mayor, to proceed in signing that.
I think it sounds basically like what they told us months ago, so that's.
We tried to cover all the ins and outs
It
as
looked
far
like
as
it
the
was covered
ancillary,
pretty good.
yeah, ancillary, matters to it, not just the splash pad, so. Well, if no further discussion, I would ask somebody to make a motion to suspend the rules.
I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules of 3 readings.
I'll second
Dean Reister,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yeah.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Ken Reinhardt,
it. Yes.
and Brian Smith.
Yes,
There's 2 pages to sign on that.
I'll make a motion, we pass.
I'll second.
That was Kenny.
Yeah.
Dean Reister,
Yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Steve Jordan, and Brian Smith.
yes.
And my final reading is ordinance number 2022-22. This is an ordinance authorizing the village fiscal officer to transfer $5,000 from the general fund to the street lighting fund, and this is just the first reading.
By the time we finish our readings, will we need to increase the amount?
Hopefully not. I'm hoping not, but
Okay.
it's
Just wondering.
getting bad. And then finally, the reader report. September, we brought in $35,267.29 for the month of August in our RETA collection.
That's Jimmy.
Oh my gosh, don't get into that with me, sign it.
Council President?
Yes, we didn't create this, it's from the county.
I'm pending.
Okay, did everybody look over your EMS reports?
We got, I have a citizen that's I have a question for Brian.
Yes, sir.
What's the update on the Braves, property?
I have no update. I will
So
just-
you guys gave me authority to reach out to Doug Bragg at the last, or not Doug Bragg, Brian Gorell, the last meeting, so I did. And I talked to him and he said, I said, we wanted to know if he wanted it to be different dimensions, if he wanted to be, any wider than it was in the same locale. And he said he would have to follow up with Doug and get back to me, and
So we're back, okay.
yeah. So I did reach out like y'all authorized me to, but I don't have anything to
Well, it's in-
report.
It's in his block.
It's in his,
too.
yeah, it's in his court.
Okay.
She's seen what I brought you, right?
Yes,
Okay.
he had,
That was,
Mr. Grubb had sent both of us that set of documents
Okay.
prior to you getting it.
because Doug dropped that paperwork off to me as well, but if you're, yeah, okay, so we're on the same page.
So, I'm,
So nothing to report
Okay.
on that,
Brian's
sorry.
up.
so I have 2 things. Number 1 is I finally was able to secure a cost estimate to redo Schaefer Road. The estimate came in at $104,430. And that would include paving from 24 all the way back to 43, where it empties out onto Harmon Road, or whatever. So that would all be resurfaced at the end, which would look extremely nice. I forwarded it to Maumee Valley this morning to ask them to prepare it to go to Columbus to seek critical infrastructure grant funding through CDBG. And they have not opened up the second round of that. So they can't submit yet, but they will submit it as soon as they can. That grant, I believe, is 100% match, so we'd have no out-of-pocket cost. And I think the money is available in the summer of '23. So hopefully we can get it, and we can get it done, and we can
And
do
what
it
was
next
the
summer.
figure, 100?
104,430, 104,430. Did you provide copies of this for the?
I did not do your admin report, no.
Okay, all right. I can give you copies of this. The second thing is we're having problems with the device we use when we read water meters. It was originally purchased in 2014. It is basically shot. It uses proprietary software, no longer supported by the manufacturer, and they've helped us limp along, but it's not limping anymore. So I'm in the process of working with them to get pricing. They came back with a quote, and it's about $13,000. I have another company, Ferguson, who we use a lot here in the village for all kinds of valves, and I mean, they do everything. Big company. They're coming in on, I think I'm scheduled for October 4th to set and take a look at what they have to offer. I've already seen the pricing. The pricing is very competitive. So we'll take a look at that. We've had some problems with our current vendor. They are very, very slow to respond.
And what is it that needs repaired?
Well, the handheld meter, when they read the meter and they input the data,
Okay.
it's stored, so when they come back, they put it in a docking station and it flows through our software system. It doesn't do that anymore.
Okay.
So,
And annual support is like 1,000?
through Prescott is,
No, I mean like now, yeah, right now.
well, we've never done it.
But if we did, it would be almost 4,000 a year?
Well, on the new one's 3,600, so if they had it available, it'd be at least
So
that.
now, they read the meter and then they put that in the,
Correct.
Yeah, they take the numbers that are on the meter and they put it in underneath the household because it's all in order.
right,
So
okay.
then when they go back, they dock it and then it goes into April software system for billing.
Okay.
Any questions?
Are you going to order one?
I'm going to meet with another manufacturer in a couple of weeks. I want to make certain we get something that is sustainable and affordable and works well. The other one that we're looking at, it can be set up as a drive-by system. So they can actually take it and put it in the gator. It's on an iPad. They just drive up and down the street and they read the village in about 2
With our
hours.
with our old meter?
With the new.
With
Well, yes. Well,
the old
no.
ones in the ground?
You'd have, if you went to the private company, you're gonna have to buy new meters, but the new meters in the heads are about $176 a piece. The meters with this other company, just to buy the head to go on the meter that's currently in the pit is $165. So we'd be ended up replacing meter and head with this other company, but it's, like I said, it's a drive-by system, so in a couple hours you can
And
drive
this
through
would be
the
something
village.
that would be in your garage or?
Nope, be in the pit, be on top of the meter.
So there are radio frequency that communicates as you drive by,
Yep.
serial number lines up,
Yep,
says
all captures it and stuff. And so it's pretty slick.
kind of like what a lot of the electric meters are going to.
Yes, yeah, well, I mean, Sherwood has this same system. Edgerton has this same system. Edgerton does their entire village electric and water in 3 hours. And we spend like a week. 2 guys. Not very cost effective.
That's the first round. Then we send them back out for rereads
Yes.
due to mistakes, which takes about 3 or 4 more days.
So that's where we're at with those 2. Other than that, everything's fairly status quo.
But the price for replacing those is gonna be about the same, whether we stick with the one company or I mean, it's a few bucks different, whether we go with the old style
Exactly.
or whether we go with the ones that transmit the data.
Exactly.
Okay.
Did we have any committee reports?
I do. I don't know.
Any old business to discuss? Any new business?
I have something for new business. Is there a way that we could get a large screen TV in here, like up there or up here or there? Something where when somebody says, hey, I want to show you this on the screen, you know, this part of town is what we want to rezone, they can just go from their computer and put it right up on the screen. Is that something that could be done? The Zoning and Planning Commission asked if we could get something like that, and if it could go from somebody's iPad or laptop, interface into it.
Yeah, there's a device that I use in my personal business, and it's called AirTame, and it's a Scandinavian company.
Mm-hmm.
But you just plug it into your TV set, and you download the software, and whatever's on your screen is on that TV that
Mhm.
quick. I mean, it works great.
I mean, I have that at home.
Yeah, say like Samsung's, that might, your iPhone or your laptop
AirPlay
will,
and- yeah.
Mhm.
because that's how I watch football games.
Instead of trying to, you know, look at these little tiny sheets and say, where are we all at, and try to, you know, take 5 minutes to try to explain where we're at on the map, they could just zoom up right on it. Is that something that we would want? I mean, I could see plenty of benefit for it.
Quite frankly, I think it's a good idea. I mean, we just have to look at,
Zoning don't have money. If you budget it next year, we could do it, but there's not money in zoning this year.
Oh, I'm not trying to steal theirs. They just asked us to get it. So I think they would probably,
they ask because they don't have any money.
they're asking us so it doesn't come out of theirs.
Yeah.
Well, it's still ours. I mean, it's in our general fund. It's still the village's. I'm just saying with the map being redone this year and redoing the ordinance, we've paid a lot more out of zoning in 2022 than what we generally do. So I just ask that we budget it for 2023 and make it happen in 2023 if council wants it.
And you're probably gonna use it for things besides just
Yeah.
planning it.
Oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's gonna be used
So,
for
yeah.
everything. You can even have historical pictures go across and whatever.
People
Yeah.
come in to do a presentation to council, or they might
Right.
have a PowerPoint.
Right, that's exactly what I'm thinking is this.
We met with the company the other evening at zoning, that's in charge of the new facility over here, the Dollar General. And it would really have been nice to have had that, because everybody was trying to watch a screen that big and talk back and forth to them. It would have been nice.
We can look into it. I would recommend if we're gonna do it, we put an order for AirTame now, because it's probably gonna be 4 months before you get it. That's about what it took me to get mine.
I mean, you probably can just do it.
Is there a monthly fee with them too?
And automatically updates.
Do we need something that elaborate, or can we just
You have
do
to
it through
have
the
something to transfer the
SmartCast?
information.
I was just say, any SmartCast, AirPlay,
Yeah, you can do that from,
and then maybe even have like a HDMI cable come up through the table too, and that way people who don't have that can still plug in.
See, but with the AirTame, you download the app, you don't need an HDMI cable, you don't need any connection to the TV whatsoever.
Yeah,
So that's the nice thing, they can send anywhere they want and do it.
yeah.
And they can do it off a cell phone, they can do it off an iPad.
Could I watch it on my phone?
You could take whatever you have on your phone and project
shoot it
it
up
onto
there.
the TV.
All right, what are you looking at, money-wise?
I think I paid in the neighborhood of $500, $550. It used to be cheaper, but then they became extremely popular because they work so well. I
Mhm.
mean, that's what
That's-
we use in our county. We have
that's the
them
TV?
all. No, that's the device that
device.
connects to the TV.
So if you got a 60-inch TV to go with it, is it something we'd want a camera on in case we want to see it or they see us while we communicate? I don't know. But yeah, I think, you know, I think the whole thing could be done for less than $1,000.
What, just a TV and a camera?
No, I'm talking TV and Air Team or whatever it's called.
AirTame? No, you're
AirTame.
gonna have probably 1,700 in it by the time you get done. TV, camera. and the
Well,
AirTame.
we may not need a camera. And, you know,
Well, the
just-
camera's cheap, I mean, they're 69, 700 bucks. We'll look into it and stuff, we'll look and see
Okay.
if we have some money in the line item that we might be able to use this year. If not, we'll make that a priority the first of next year.
Okay.
But isn't this something that could come out of multiple funds?
It could,
Reduce
but
by, I mean,
it would all still be general. it would all come from like council, mayor's court, you know,
Okay.
everything would be in council.
Okay.
I mean, everything would be from general. We're not gonna do it from streets or water or sewer or anything like that.
Okay.
So it's all still gonna come from general.
Okay.
We'll get it taken care of.
Good idea. Okay. Okay.
Now that Gabe's here, is there anything that we need to ask Gabe?
I don't think so. We passed the motion. We're all ready to go forward.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully you didn't waste too much gas money getting here.
I didn't come this way anyhow, I just,
Yep.
normally I just
Okay. Our, we've set trick or treat for October the 29th, 5 to 6:30. And my mayor's report for traffic court, total to the cities, $184. To the state was $150. The total from fines is $373. Total dispersed was $713. And that's all I got.
Can you do those again?
184.
That was to the village,
Yes.
150 to the state. Do you
150
have the
to the
indigent
state.
driver?
$6.
And what was the 300?
So she said total fines, 373. Then that up.
And then you said another one after that, 700 and something.
Total that was dispersed is 713.
Yeah, something. It's okay. I'll look at it and figure it out.
Okay, well, that's what she gave me.
Did you say what time the parade was?
Pardon?
Parade is at 3:30.
3:30.
Oh, yeah. Who's doing that this time?
Fire department.
Fire department.
Fire department?
Parade will start at the Manor House. It'll come up to in front on Main Street, go down to Daggett Street, head down to the fire hall, and the costume judging will be there.
Okay. Have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion.
Who said that?
Bryce and Steve.
Bryce Steiner,
Yes.
Steve Jordan,
Yes.
Kenny Reinhardt,
Yes.
Ian Reister,
Yes.
and Brian Smith.
Yes.
Sitting back here, I can't see them and hear them very well, so.
You want me to also?